George Foreman said, boxing is like jazz. The better it is, the less people appreciate it. And that was Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. Because Mayweather boxed absolutely sublime.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, but it was, for the people that are want to see blood and guts, it was very boring.
His life has been just one amazing adventure after another.
Welcome once again to another edition of Stand Up Guys. I am Patrick Robles. He is Edge Brown. Edge, are you ready for the relaunch?
I am ready for the relaunch. New year, and the podcast is still the same, but just a little refreshing of the podcast.
Oh yeah, we're just tinkering around the edges. So we are actually going to start with a bit of an announcement. We are going to start posting on YouTube. You're not going to see our faces. We're just going to post full podcast episode on our YouTube page. That is at the Stand Up Guys Podcast. Please follow us on YouTube. That is alongside our 5-minute fight series. And actually, our 5-minute fight that we're going to do on the next one is going to be Roger Mayweather and Rocky Lockridge, because we are doing a Mayweather type episode. So if you're listening on YouTube, welcome. It's just going to be a static image. Don't wait for the video. There's no video. It's just our voices. And beyond that, whether you are a longtime listener or new listener, this is going to be a special episode because we are doing a Mayweather deep dive. So are you ready to go, Edge?
Ready to go.
Okay, so real quick, I'm going to quickly reintroduce myself. My name is Patrick Robles, 20-year practitioner, a Muay Thai lifelong boxing fan, boxing enthusiast, a friend of the legendary Edge Brown, and a student of the legendary Edge Brown. Edge, please give us your life story in 10 seconds or less.
Oh, 10 seconds or less. Here we go. Okay, a former British kickboxing champion, European Muay Thai champion, and world kickboxing champion, and former amateur boxer.
All right, and a lover of boxing, of course, right?
Love of all stand-up contact sports.
And that is what we are about. We follow stand-up combat sports, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing. Occasionally we will do MMA, but only if it's like a true stand-up fight. Think like Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. So when something like that, we will cover it. We'd love to get off the subject. We wander quite a bit, so be ready for that. No cursing, but today there will be a curse. And if you're a boxing fan, you probably know, if we're talking about the Mayweathers, you know what we're talking about. But we don't curse, so you can listen with your family and your kids and stuff. We try not to do hot takes, but then once again, spoiler alert, after today's boxing, we might be like talking about the worst refereeing we ever saw.
Yeah, pretty bad refereeing.
But we try not to do hot takes. We don't do hot takes. We're not going to be like, that's the worst thing and whatever. We debate, we talk, but no hot takes. And then expect news, expect tributes like the Mayweather tribute today, expect debates, reviews, and lots of stories. And occasionally we miss something. Occasionally we get something wrong. We always forget fighters' names, and we do that. We have a cleanup segment.
Yep.
So with that in mind, here's our cleanup segment. On our last podcast, we did our year in review, and both you and I messed something up on our years of review.
Yeah, I think on my knockout of the year, I got the opponent's name wrong.
Yeah. You have. So your knockout of the year was right. It's Mway.
Yeah.
We love Mway, but you had him fighting someone named Saito. He was fighting someone named Muga.
Muga, yeah.
But mine was far worse. In my fight of the year, I had the wrong guy winning. It was Toyota versus Uadon, and I said Uadon won, Toyota won. Yeah. So I present my fight of the year, and it was I had the wrong person winning. So
probably because you drive an EV and you don't like Toyota cars. That's probably why you got that wrong.
That's exactly it. As a Tesla owner, I refuse. So congrats to Toyota, and that is our cleanup statement. So as I said, we are going to do a big Mayweather deep dive. But before that, we do have some really just sad news, and most of you know about this already, which is Anthony Joshua, fresh off probably like, as far as being visible, a career high for him, knocking out Jake Paul. He's in Nigeria, and he gets to a horrible, fatal car crash, which unfortunately killed two of his best friends. And that'd be Sina Gaimi and Latif Latz Ayodele. Both men were in their 30s, both super close to him. It's just horrible, horrible thing, Edge.
Yeah, and it's kind of like not only were they best friends, Sina was his strength and conditioning coach, and Latif, nicknamed Lats, was actually his personal trainer. So I think most people who do boxing or combat sports know that you usually get closer to your strength and conditioning and personal trainer than you do your actual boxing coach or stand-up coach, because when you're working out, doing strength and conditioning or personal training, there's a lot of breaks between sets that you're working on, so you usually talk more. Whereas in boxing, you're usually out of breath and you train more. Mm-hmm. So with these guys, you usually converse more. You get a closer relationship. So,
and assuming these type of guys during a training camp, it's grueling, it's horrible. Not horrible, but it's a grind. And then you have people you can talk to though, like at the end of the day. And that kind of like break it up and that really help you mentally get through that. And I think those were these guys for him.
Yeah, because they understand what you're going through and the kind of, the stress you're under, the fatigue you're under, and you can discuss it with them and talk to them, and you build a really close bond. And actually on the morning of the crash, Anthony Joshua posted a clip of him and I'm not sure which trainer it was, but they were playing table tennis, just in the break time. So these guys are like really close. So losing them is going to have a big impact on Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, and I believe his uncle has said he's retired. I'm not sure if he's confirmed that, but I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me if he's done.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, it's a little too fresh, so it's hard to say what he'd do.
Absolutely.
I know he did an interview in England, and he broke down crying in the interview. I haven't watched it because I thought that'd be kind of hard for me to watch at this point.
Right.
So I'll give that some time before I review it. But he's actually going through some stuff right now.
Yeah, and when something like that happens, you can't help but think, why am I doing this? I've won the heavyweight title twice. I got all the money in the world. What's the point? And then for you and I mean, you being from England, you were always a big Anthony Joshua fan, and you made sure that I think I've seen almost all his fights. I mean, certainly all the ones that were televised. You had me watching him, from the beginning.
A long time ago, even before the Dylan White fight, we were watching him. So we've been watching him for a long time. So it's very sad news, and what I can say, I mean, even though, like Anthony Joshua said, I mean, he's feeling really, really bad, but for these two guys, their parents, they're actually feeling way worse.
Yeah. If I could find one tiny sliver of a silver lining, the boxing community almost without exception has been so supportive of him and giving their love. Even, Tyson Fury can be Tyson Fury, but both him and his dad. See, I'm getting choked up. Very supportive. And that was great to see.
Yeah, it is good to see. And hopefully he can, get over this. It's going to be very hard, but hopefully in the future he can get over it and have fun memories of his good friends.
Okay. So moving on. So obviously rest in peace to those two, and our condolences go out to all the families involved, and certainly stand-up guys. Anthony Joshua, we love you. Hang in there, brother. So we want to talk one more time about TKO. Looks like they have
actually announced the fighters for their card, which is going to be on the 24th, is it, of January?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually going to be in the Apex, which is a small studio that they use at the UFC headquarters, which has got no fans in there. So it's going to be like watching the fight during COVID.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And that's what they were using for COVID. And I believe we have Callum Smith versus Carlos Ocampo. Am I right?
Yeah.
So the last time we saw, it's Smith, right?
Yeah.
The last time we saw Callum Smith was on the undercard of Crawford Canelo, and he was fighting
Fernando Vargas Jr.
And I sent you my notes, and I don't have it in front of me, but because I take notes during fights, and one of them was like, nothing going on. I missed 2 rounds going to the bathroom.
It's kind of like that. You're lucky you went to the bathroom for those 2 rounds. It was an awful fight. Callum Walsh.
Yeah.
Callum Walsh, he's 15-0.
Yeah.
He's originally from Ireland. He spent some time in the Bay Area, so I've seen him at the Irish Centre before.
Okay.
And I actually know a couple of people that were sponsoring him at one point.
Yeah, I said Callum Smith. So we already had an in-show cleanup. It's Callum Walsh. Yes.
Yeah. An easy mistake to make, Callum Smith. And Callum Walsh, but he's fighting Ocampo, and Ocampo, his record's 38-3, and he's already had 3 title shots.
Yeah, I know he lost to Sebastian Fundora. He got knocked out by Tim Tszyu, and when I went and looked And he's on like a 3 or 4 fight knockout streak. I didn't even bother really to look at the opponents. I looked at the location. It was like Tijuana.
Yeah.
It was like some really obscure Mexican towns.
He's trying to rebuild, but he got knocked out. He also got knocked out by Errol Spence, and both Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu knocked him out in the first round. So he's he turned professional in like 2012. He's like pretty much at the end of his career. I mean, this is not a good way for this boxing series to start with this fight.
So I don't know if you remember when MMA, and I believe might have been Strikeforce, I don't know, was first on network TV.
Yeah.
It was the Street Fighter guy, who's the guy on all the videos? Well, it doesn't matter. The Street Fighter guy. It'll come to me in a second. Was fighting some guy and he got knocked out in 2 seconds. So the next day, Dana White's on whatever show. He goes, even though it wasn't a UFC fight, he was still saying, "Hey, we didn't put our best foot forward."
Yeah.
Boy, do I think that applies here.
It applies here, yeah. I think that they're trying to, because Callum Walsh is 15-0, up and coming, Irish kid. I mean, he could become a big name. I don't think he's actually got the talent to. He's a talented fighter, but not at like world level. But I think they're putting No Campo in there to be like a stepping stone so that they can move Callum Walsh forward.
Yeah, well, we shall see. But yeah, something like that in the apex, and like maybe if that was like way down the line and you've already had a bunch of cards, but for this to be your first card coming out the gate, I'm less than impressed. We'll see. It might be an amazing fight. Who knows?
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't see it, but it could be. Anything is possible.
All right. Edge, are you ready for our Floyd Mayweather deep dive?
Sure, we'll go deep dive into Floyd.
Okay, so the original, I guess, genesis of this, recently there was an article in Business Insider regarding Floyd Mayweather and his finances, which we will get to in this deep dive.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and start. And I'm going to start with something you told me a long time ago, and this was great. Floyd Mayweather is what happens when you raise a child inside a boxing gym.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yeah.
So let's start with the origins. Floyd Joy Mayweather, that's right, Joy Mayweather Jr., born February 24th, 1977, Grand Rapids, Michigan. His parents, Deborah Sinclair, and she is still around, and Floyd Mayweather Sr., and obviously his uncle, Roger Mayweather, both champions, both, good fighters.
Both very good fighters. I think Roger was a better fighter, had the better record, but they were both really good fighters.
Yeah, so Floyd had fought Sugar Ray Leonard, I believe, in 1978, but he had Floyd Sr. now had that defensive-minded style that eventually Floyd had. Roger, the Black Mamba.
Yeah, Black Mamba.
Black Mamba. He was a more cerebral fighter, which is why he made such a good trainer. Yeah. Now, Uncle Roger is no longer with us, but he is responsible to one of our all-time favorite quotes, which lives forever in the comments, which is, and here comes the curse, most people don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah, that's what Roger said. And he used to have, at the Mayweather gym, he used to have a montage of pictures of fighters. So that anybody would go there, he'd go through the montage and go, who's this? And so he'd test your boxing knowledge on that. He did it with Eddie Murphy. And even our friend Andrew Moy went down there, he went through it with him. So Roger was a real character and really liked figure in boxing.
So nothing but love for Uncle Roger now and forever. Now, it is very important to note that Deborah Sinclair's mom, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and Uncle Roger, they all had issues with substance abuse. So we don't bring that up to disparage anyone, but when you have a child with parents, people who are around people with substance abuse, who have substance abuse issues, they're going to go one of two ways. They're either going to indulge themselves or they never touched it. And Floyd Mayweather, he
never touched alcohol.
No drinking, no partying, and more importantly, he never ballooned in in fights. He fought at his weight.
He stayed in shape.
So Floyd was not an only child. He had some sisters, but for the purposes in the gym, he was an only child.
But I think he had issues with his dad because his dad forced him to train in boxing. And I think everybody remembers that one 24/7 episode
where they
had a big blowout
Yeah.
between them because of that, because his father, Floyd wanted to go out and play with his friends like most young kids do, and his dad was like, no, you go into the gym.
And do you know who Marv Marinovich is? He had the son Todd Marinovich, who ended up being like a quarterback for the Raiders. He was like this. He was very much known for being this guy who was like, super healthy. And old Todd Marinovich, he was never allowed to eat sugar and whatever. And he's running miles when he's 7 years old. Now, it did get him in the league, but he just, his head popped. You know?
It's kind of, there's a long history of fathers and fathers of boxers that train them. And usually in most cases, there's been an issue between the two because the fathers have been overbearing.
Yeah. So for Floyd, though, obviously he had the genetics, and it's just worth mentioning that those two guys, Uncle Roger and Floyd Sr., they knew boxing. They knew boxing inside and out. So when you take a prodigy and you raise him in the gym, and now you're like, hey, this is the way it needs to be done from the beginning, well, you're going to get a pretty good boxer. Maybe not a great human being, but a great boxer.
A great boxer. Yeah.
Which brings us to the 1996 Olympics, I believe, in Atlanta. He won the bronze.
Well, he lost to a kid, Safrafim Todorov, who was from Bulgaria. He was like a 3 times world amateur champion. So he was not a bad boxer. But the fight was definitely a disputed decision. I remember watching it. And when they calling out the decision, the referee raised Floyd Mayweather's arm, thinking that, okay, he obviously won, but the decision went to Sarafim. And actually, in the final of that thing, the gold medal winner was a person I met in Thailand. It was Sam Luck, who won Thailand's first ever gold medal in Olympic competition in anything, and became a national hero.
Oh, so. Okay, that's nice for Thailand.
It is.
So was this as bad as the Roy Jones Jr. thing? Or
it was one of those fights where Floyd landed, obviously, the cleaner punches, but the kid Sarafim had that amateur style where he was very, very busy, but he wasn't effective, and Floyd was way more effective, and from watching it, he looked like he clearly won. Yeah.
And I know Floyd just almost doesn't even acknowledge the medal, and it was whatever.
Well, he didn't have any more amateur fights after that. He turned professional straight away after that.
Which brings us to the Pretty Boy Floyd era. So when I knew I had to watch some Floyd fights, I watched the Corrales fight. I rewatched the Castillo fight, which I was at, and I watched the De La Hoya fight. But I like to look at the Corrales fight because I think that's almost that's peak Pretty Boy Floyd, don't you think?
Yeah, around then, before he fought Toro Gatti around the same time as well. It was convincing. But the Corrales fight, because Corrales was that was like a 50-50 fight. A lot of people were picking Corrales to win, and Floyd dismantled him. Total dismantled him. He couldn't miss with his he did the feint and a left hook, and he just found a home all night.
And I think what was interesting, as you say, 50-50. There was no A side and B side. Floyd couldn't fight hey, I got the decision because I'm the money guy or whatever. Yeah. So he had to, I don't want to say try is the wrong word, but he had to hey, he had to fight more than just defensively, and you saw that, and it was just so impressive. And Corrales, and what was interesting, Roger's in the corner, but Floyd Sr. is in the first row. I don't know what the relationship is, and he said he'll be ready to go in about the 7th or 8th round. And about the 7th or 8th round is when Floyd was already winning, but the 7th and 8th rounds we started knocking him down and just started dismantling him.
Yeah, it took him apart.
So, and I also think you kind of saw all Floyd kind of in one fight. First, you saw the aggressive Floyd, and then you saw, I'm going to say it was the 9th round, you saw more of that defensive Money Mayweather fight because he was cruising. He was still trying, but he was cruising, and you just saw that this guy's overmatched. This guy can't corner me, and I'm just going to fight. I'm going to make sure I don't get knocked out. He ended up knocking him out in the 10th round, though.
But he's picking him apart, so he was. He just couldn't. Diego Corrales couldn't do anything. He couldn't stop the assault.
Yeah. And also, that was on HBO, and it is it's worth noting that I was in 2001, and man, Larry Merchant was already comatose by then. I mean, we love Larry, but he just said so many things that just don't make sense, you know. So, well, Jim, this is the elephant versus the hyena, and the giraffe is winning. What are you talking about, Larry? I mean, he didn't literally say that, but yeah.
I get yeah.
God.
I totally get it.
So yeah, did you watch any fights just in the last week leading up to this?
No, I mean I've watched Mayweather's career from the amateurs through the pros, and all the fights that he had.
So after that, I want to talk about the first Castillo fight. Is Floyd Mayweather versus Jose Luis Castillo. I was at that fight. I hadn't watched it since. I was at it, and that's the one that a lot of people say he lost.
Yeah, I think he did. I watched it on TV. I thought he definitely lost that fight.
So, just as far as the scoring, when I watched it, I really tried. I don't usually score fights round by round. I score them overall, but this one I tried to do round by round. I gave through 6. I had Mayweather ahead 4-2, but 2 and 3 were close. So those could have gone either way.
Rounds,
let's see here. I gave Floyd every close round, which would be 2, 3, and 11. Castillo got a point taken away. Mayweather got a point taken away. And Mayweather should have got another point taken away for hitting after the bell. The 10th round was a kind of a late career Floyd round. It's kind of a Money May round. And then the 12th was clearly Castillo. It was close, but I believe Floyd won by 2 rounds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember watching it live. I haven't gone through it again, but at the time I thought Castillo definitely won the fight. Very close, but he won.
So my memories being there in person, I was there for my friend Charles's bachelor party. Big up to Chuck. I remember because by then I'd been to like a bunch of kickboxing fights in San Jose. I'd been to one boxing fight, whatever, but I was so impressed with Floyd, in person. Just the discipline. I was like, wow, I'd never seen that level of discipline in person. And as we were leaving, everyone was going, this is BS. Everyone was pissed. So, having watched it again, I had Floyd winning, but I had at least 4 rounds that could have gone the other way, and Floyd should have lost another. Floyd should have lost another point.
Yeah.
So there we go. So moving on.
We're going to say that Floyd in the rematch, Floyd totally dominated.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he did get it back.
He cleaned it up. Yeah.
And he was kind of famous for that. And then moving on, I had never seen the De La Hoya fight before.
No. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really wasn't missing much.
That was big. I mean, that changed. But I mean, that made Floyd Mayweather become the A side. That was a very important fight.
We're calling this the pivot.
Yeah, it is a pivot.
Yeah. So it was on Cinco de Mayo. Floyd comes in full on like Mexican gear. Yeah. Everything. It was a straight up troll.
But he got that from his Uncle Roger. His Uncle Roger, when he used to go down to Mexico as a black mamba, he used to wear the black sombrero. That was Uncle Roger's thing back then. So I think Floyd took a page out of his book.
And this was also 154 when it was all said and done. Oscar was 4 pounds heavier the night of the fight, a little bigger, and he had been fighting at 154. What's interesting though is both Oscar and Floyd had come all the way up from lightweight.
Yeah.
To 154.
Well, I think the less than lightweight. I think they come from 130, right?
Yeah.
I think both from 130.
Yeah.
It's a super feather all the way up to 154.
Yeah. So they'd all. Floyd and 50 were still on speaking terms. That's an important note.
Yeah.
And this really was the beginning of, I think, Floyd Money Mayweather. This was him fighting the way he fights. I saw a lot in the Corrales, De La Hoya, Castillo, and then I would even add the Maidana fight. They all had the same DNA, which was them kind of like trying to rough Mayweather up, making it a muddy track, so to speak. Yeah. Doing a lot of like holding him and hitting the body, which is smart. And but he was able to deal with it.
Well, that's what you got to do when you fight Mayweather, because if you try and box him, there's no way you're going to outbox him. So you have to rough him up, and those guys had the right idea or the right game plan to face Mayweather.
So he won by split decision, but this was really the beginning of the Money Mayweather era. I think he had one more fight after that, and that was against Ricky Hatton, and then that was his first retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of like he retired because he was in a contract to fight De La Hoya in a rematch. So him retiring, that made the contract null and void. So he didn't have to fight him. So then he waited a year till he was totally null and void, and that's when he came back and fought Marquez.
Well, and it's worth noting, he was not out of the ring entirely.
He was in the WWE doing his wrestling.
He fought
Big Show.
Yeah, WrestleMania 24, March 30th, 2008. He won via knockout, via brass knuckles.
Yeah. Exactly. And the Big Show, that was kind of thing.
I will say this: he took actual bumps in that. Like he got slammed around a little by a legit 400-pound guy.
Yeah,
I mean it was fun to watch.
But I remember the pre-one when he was in the crowd and Big Show was fighting, and then he came out the crowd. And
he legitimately broke Big Show's nose, and he wasn't supposed to. Yeah. He legitimately broke his nose though. So all right, we don't cover WWE too much, but all right. So he came back. He comes back, fights Marquez, and now we are firmly
in the Money
Mayweather era,
which he got from the wrestling. That was part of the moniker that they gave him. So he changed from the pre-boy Floyd to the Money Mayweather, and instead of being the good guy, he became the bad guy, which he said in the build-up to the De La Hoya fight on the 24/7, a show that I truly miss.
Yeah,
that he's going to be the bad guy.
Yeah. So I by the way, I have like a ton of notes in front of me. I'm very happy that I've not been reading too many of them. But Money Mayweather era, same template every fight, sublime technique, minimized risk, variance eliminated, hand-picked styles, protecting the asset, and never drank, never got fat, kept his near walking around weight. And this is big for my lovely wife. He did some really awesome sit-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the ones where you do a sit-up, stand all the way up and come back down, which is ridiculously difficult.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
And worth mentioning, he always fought in Las Vegas.
Yeah, after that, he never traveled again after that.
And I gave you the little
last fight before.
His last, not obviously after he retired, he's been fighting in Dubai, but all the way up until McGregor, which we'll get to. He fought in Las Vegas every single time. 2001 was the last time, San Francisco Civic Center. Yeah,
because after he beat De La Hoya, he got the Mexican holiday dates, which is still used for the number one fighter in boxing, which Canelo uses, which is the Cinco de Mayo and the Mexican Independence Day. So he always fought on those dates in Vegas, which brought a lot of people into Vegas on those dates.
So my thing on the Vegas thing, and I talked to you about this kind of off mic earlier, I think he missed on some branding opportunities. Competitively, it makes perfect sense. He's always the home team. Certainly, it made him a ton of money, so that's not. But just for branding, you got to go out and you got to meet the media. Certainly, L.A., New York, your home country of England, and probably Texas too. You got to do those fights if you're going to expand your brand, so to speak.
But I think because he brought so many people in Vegas on those dates, I think he got extra money for that. So I think you just went with the amount of money he's going to get, and I think with the coverage from the from HBO and stuff, I think he kind of figured he didn't have to travel to do that. And
would you say that this was also kind of the birth of the whole 24/7 thing? The documentaries leading up to the fights, because I think the De La Hoya one was the first time they did it.
Yeah, it was around that time they started. Yeah.
And so that was a huge thing. Like
it was massive. Yeah.
You got to see, and that's where we saw the fight with Floyd Mayweather Sr. that we referenced before. And it's also worth mentioning at this time, Leonard Ellerbe went from being his corner man to being more of like a CEO type.
Yeah. Kind of like co-promoter.
Yeah. And also a bit of like a financial advisor, which we'll get to. And at this point, Al Heyman was an advisor, or what was Al Heyman?
He was an advisor.
Yeah.
And Mayweather as well was hanging out with 50 Cent at the time as well.
Yeah.
That was he was a big part of that.
But he was by now he's a promotional free agent though, right? Which was huge.
Well, that's why he changed the thing, because he was he promoted his own fights, like with Mayweather Promotions. So instead of promoter paying him, he was collecting all the revenue from the pay-per-view and the live sales. So he was making a ton of money.
And I'm going to say once again, that's that's a result of having Uncle Roger and Floyd Sr. in your life.
Yeah.
They knew it was like, hey, you want to get away from the promoter stuff as quick as possible. Like they understood that on a very real level.
Yeah, because he paid a lot of money to buy himself out of the top rank contract.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I think he paid like 16 million or something like that to get out of that contract so he could promote himself. So very smart move.
All right. Well, there is one fighter in particular who stands out in this saga, and what do we got to talk about now?
Sorry.
Manny Pacquiao.
The Pac-Man.
That's like its own saga, because at the time, Manny Pacquiao is clearly the other big pay-per-view draw.
Yeah.
Clearly same weight class, fighting a few of the same people, but circling for a long time.
Yeah, well, after Pacquiao knocked out De La Hoya, or stopped De La Hoya, he became the kind of guy, the nemesis to Mayweather.
Yeah, because he knocks out Hatton, he knocks out Cotto.
Yeah.
And they circled each other for I don't know how long.
5 years at least.
Yeah, and you had PED accusations, you had lawsuits, and there was always, the pound for pound versus the pound for pound. And unfortunately, once they finally fought, this was a little bit past their sell date, yeah?
It was way past it, yeah.
Yeah. But they finally fight May 2nd, 2015. Looks like there were, when we start talking money, get used to the word approximately. You're going to be hearing approximately a lot. Okay.
That's a lot of money.
But total revenue was like 600 million globally, pay-per-view revenue 400 million, 4.6 million domestic buys. I think still the biggest boxing pay-per-view ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. 72 million live gates at the MGM. It was just a whole thing. And I can tell you, everyone I know, this went far beyond boxing.
I watched it, yeah.
Obviously, being in the Bay Area, we have a large Filipino community. They were big, actually.
Yeah.
Mayweather made me a lot of money, actually.
I mean, I won some bets as well.
Exactly. So that was just a huge thing. What are your just thoughts on that whole thing overall?
Yeah, it was not just a boxing fight; it was an event, right? So, I mean, everybody watched it. People that don't follow sports, never mind boxing, were tuned in to watch it. So
closest thing to what Jake Paul's been doing.
Yeah, it's a totally massive event.
So Mayweather wins that, and the fight itself. I don't need notes on this. I mean, I think Mayweather pretty much dominated him, but my God,
pretty close to a shutout, right?
Yeah,
won every round.
And I would say this brings into my thing about Mayweather. I went from being impressed by him to just being appreciative.
Yeah,
I could appreciate what he's doing in the ring, but I was never like, wow, It was like, look at him. We used to say that boy's good.
He's good, yeah.
And he was very good, but it just wasn't particularly interesting to watch.
But yeah, there's a saying by George Foreman, which I sent you just recently, which probably haven't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But George Foreman said, boxing is like jazz. The better it is, the less people appreciate it. And that was Mayweather Pacquiao fight. Because Mayweather boxed absolutely sublime.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, but it was, for the people that are want to see blood and guts, it was very boring.
Yeah. So right before this, we're going to bring this up just really quick. He was incarcerated for a domestic violence situation. He served 2 months. It did kind of mess with his career a little, and I think it kind of spoke to like some stuff that's going to start happening outside of the ring for him. Yeah.
Well, I think as well, because one of the reasons why Roger Mayweather became a main trainer for him, because his father got incarcerated. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he kind of runs in his family. They get into trouble with the law, and, that's the kind of background he comes from. But when his dad was locked up, Roger took over and was training him for a good chunk of his career.
All right. So let's get to the closing of the boxing chapter, which was, and we don't need notes on this, he fought Conor McGregor, which, promotionally speaking, is just a match made in heaven. I mean, those guys know how to promote a fight.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing when you, a lot of fights before, like Floyd was like promoting by himself, running his marathon 24/7 and stuff. Yeah. But against McGregor, he had a partner that was promoting with him. And if McGregor was making fun of him and
promotionally speaking, could keep up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was really good. So it became a very big promotion that way.
But as far as just a fight, it was just I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, UFC boxing, two different sports. Muay Thai and boxing, two different sports. And this is as someone who's tried both. You know, it's just
a different sport. Yeah.
And Mayweather. I mean, McGregor did okay for a second, but I mean, he was completely gassed.
But you can't go from like fighting like Muay Thai in UFC 5 rounds and then go into a 12-round fight. You just won't have the gas to do it.
Exactly.
It's fought at a different pace, and it's just completely different.
Yeah, but this was once again something that everyone was involved in. I don't think this was quite as big as the Pacquiao fight, but it was right there.
It was big. It was very big. Yeah.
4.3 million pay-per-view buys, about 600 million in revenue. Floyd approximately 275 to 300 million just for one fight.
Yeah.
McGregor 100 to 130 million.
Yeah.
And then he retires.
Yeah.
So, which brings us to our Business Insider article. You read the article, yes, Edge?
Yeah. Kind of.
So Floyd is absolutely not broke, but he has some financial issues, and basically he's just living beyond his means.
Yeah. Kind of.
And the thing is, I don't care if you're Sugar Ray Robinson, if you're Mike Tyson, if you're Joe Louis, no one's immune to this. You make all this money, and it's not even an outlier. It's more like the norm.
No, yeah. A lot of people do it. Even like singers, rappers like MC Hammer and stuff. They've had financial problems after making a ton of money.
Okay, so we are going to link to this article. There's no way I could even begin to go through all the stuff, but basically what's going on, he's at about $1 billion, approximately, $1 billion in career boxing earnings. Even afterwards, he's owned probably through like exhibition fights. He's been doing exhibition fights, Dubai, Tokyo.
Well, yeah, big one. Yeah, because he had a big exhibition fight with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So that one.
And once again, there's all these different estimates how much he made. But he's been doing good. But he had in 2017 he had to pay $22.2 million in back taxes, another $5.5 million in back taxes. He's having commercial properties disclosed, and once again, I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but he borrowed $54 million from a guy named Don Hankey, who he made his money in payday lending.
Yeah.
At a 9% interest rate, which the interest alone is about $4.5 million a year, and he cross-collateralized the debt. And Edge Brown, not only are you a former pro boxer, but you are a former bank manager.
Yeah.
Tell us about cross-collateralized loans.
Oh my God, that's you stay as far away from those as possible.
Basically, instead of putting, like, say, just one house for collateral, you're going to the other. So if you default on the loan, you don't lose one house. You lose a bunch of stuff.
I suppose maybe with his cars as well. He's got a collection of cars. I'm sure those were on that on that loan. So.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he is asset rich, cash flow dependent, highly leveraged with the cross collateralization. And there's just a lot of financial red flags. He has legal disputes over his private jet, unpaid luxury items. He claims to own all these apartment buildings in New York. There's absolutely no record of it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I kind of thought reading this, in boxing, when you're successful in boxing, there's guardrails, there's rules, there's a referee, there's kind of a set thing. Once you're out of boxing, there's no equivalent structure, and now you don't have this area of expertise that you had before. Like in boxing, he was a freaking genius, but now you're
but the people around him, guys like Hal Heyman and that, really successful guys,
and Leonard Ellerbe.
You think that these guys would have advised him against a lot of this stuff, but
I think they did while he was with them. So his supporter now is a guy by the name of Jonah Rechnitz, who's a jeweler and deal facilitator. He's already appeared in a bunch of lawsuits and fraud. Once again, read the article. So that's who he's got advising him now.
Yeah. But then we got to say as well, this is all allegedly, because Floyd Mayweather denies all of this.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay. But so in the exhibition era, he fought Tenshin, who's a kickboxer.
Japanese kickboxer.
Yeah, Logan Paul, Don Moore, Asakura.
John Gotti III. He fought him twice.
Yeah. So, and which brings us to talking about coming back.
So about coming back now. Well, I think after Pacquiao came back and fought Barrios, which I find that most observers saw Pacquiao won. He done very well. I think that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, if that was on the books, I think that would make a lot of money.
You do? It's certainly not going to make as much as the first one.
Not as much as the first one, but it still make a lot of money.
Okay, yeah.
Enough to get him out of trouble, I don't know. But, as I said, because the 24/7, that was Mayweather's idea. If you can come up with a good thing like that with both him and Pacquiao and a good build-up to the fight, that could generate a lot of cash. Remember, people nostalgic. I look at Jake Paul versus
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson have over 100 million views. So,
and it's also because people know the names too. Those names actually extend beyond boxing as well.
Yeah, so he could make a lot. I think he would make a tremendous amount of money. Nowhere near the first, but I think enough that both fighters would be satisfied.
Actually, and I think this version of Pacquiao maybe even knocks out Floyd.
Probably.
Floyd's style does not translate into being old very well. Like someone like George Foreman, when you're like a power puncher, you could keep doing that when you're old. What Floyd did, that just does not translate into getting older.
Well, they got this saying in boxing: the last thing you lose is your punch.
Yeah.
So, but everything else goes. Especially your timing, that goes like pretty much the first thing that goes. But we'll see. We'll see if he comes back. But him and Pacquiao, that would be a fight for now, and that would be a good thing because neither one of them will get seriously hurt, I don't think.
Yeah, I think him versus Gervonta would work on a certain level. To me, obviously there's some weight difference. I get it, but it just seemed the other one that could really work, and I know he'd take the buddy.
Crawford?
No, what you call it? Broner. Him versus Broner.
But what I've seen in Broner lately, I don't think Broner could get into the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now. That wouldn't happen.
But that could happen. All right. So what this leaves us with is he's 50-0, 27 knockouts. He won titles in 5 divisions: super featherweight, lightweight, light welterweight, light middleweight. Wins over De La Hoya. Wins over Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, Victor Ortiz, Carlos Baldemir, Zab Judah, Arturo Gatti, Jose Luis Castillo, Genaro Hernandez. So that's
he got the most wins of any fighter over champions. So the champion. So that's a record that he'll have. Me personally, though, I think Pacquiao was the best fighter of the era.
Okay.
Even though Mayweather beat him, Pacquiao came up from flyweight all the way to middleweight. That will never be done again. 8 weight divisions.
Are we including Roy Jones Jr. in this era?
Oh, no. Roy Jones Jr. is the era before, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then, It's close. I would just have to say it's Floyd because Floyd won head-to-head. That would be why I would say it's Floyd. But.
Yeah.
Okay. That is our Floyd Mayweather deep dive. Right. Do you have any final thoughts on
No, it's a good one. I hope he gets himself straight and gets out of this financial mess. Alleged financial mess that he's in.
Alleged. This allegedly approximate financial mess.
The thing is, though, it's coming from Business Insider, which is a highly reputable source. It's not coming from, the New York Post or anything. So, look at it. There seems to be a fair amount of credibility to what's being said.
Okay, so if this is your first time, we do reviews. Now, normally we review one fighting championship, and, boxing. There just hasn't been a lot lately. So we're going to do some really quick reviews. We review Rajadamnern World Series, which is out of Rajadamnern Stadium in Thailand. Rajadamnern is, kind of like the birthplace of Muay Thai. It's got the same kind of guts, but they've redone the stadium. Really nice, actually.
Yeah, very, very nice.
But, and we don't do Rajadamnern World Series every time, but when something interesting happens, we do. So we had 2 real quick. We had this guy M16 versus Brando Mendoza. Mendoza, they said, was out of quote California. USA.
Yeah.
So being that we're in California, we got to support California. And just Mendoza was a second round KO, and
he looked really good.
Yeah,
he threw a low kick and it was blocked by M16, but when he blocked the low kick, he dropped his guard, and Mendoza came over with a right hand, and that was it.
Yeah, and Mendoza was throwing like a lot of punches. He was looking like California boxer. Yeah. So congratulations to Mendoza, and we're only doing that one quickly because we have to get to Akram Ochibi versus Alexis Contreras. Was that it? Yep.
Yeah.
And Akram Ochibi, I'm trying to say his name right. This is important. It's from Morocco. And they fought, but second round KO. Do you want to take this one?
Oh, it was a switch kick.
It wasn't just a switch kick.
A perfect switch kick.
A jumping switch kick.
Yeah.
This was some movie stuff. This looked almost choreographed. It was so good.
Yeah, but I think most times when people do switch kick, because you have to switch so fast, you usually get into that jumping motion.
Right.
That's what it happened.
Uh-huh.
But it did low kick and then switched to the high kick. So low kick with the left leg, and then the high kick with the right leg. It's a really quick motion from the low kick to the high kick. And it was a jumping motion. It landed on his neck and his jaw, and that was it.
And it was just spectacular. I always say amazing. I want to make sure I didn't say amazing. It was spectacular.
We'll say highlight reel knockout.
Oh, absolutely. And knockout of the year so far?
Oh, so far, yeah.
It's our KO of the year so far.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we just call it.
It's going to be hard to beat. This one's going to be really hard to beat because it was beautiful to watch.
Okay, so congratulations to Ochibi. So we did have a little boxing today. We just got done watching it right now. And we should add, we always do this on Sunday. We were doing this on Saturday because we got football playoffs to watch tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, we don't do hot takes, but was this not the worst refereeing you've ever seen back to back?
It was, yeah. Kind of like the first one.
So we had fighting out of Germany.
Yeah.
It was on DAZN, and we had the co-main event was a heavyweight fight. They were both heavyweight fights, but we had Granit Xhela. By the way, what a great name, Granit, versus Peter Milas. It was actually a fairly whatever fight, but Xhela gets dropped in the 10th, and it looks pretty bad, and he's just getting pieced up, and Milas even stops and points to the ref like, hey, you want to do something? Yeah. So then knocks him down again, and then it's obviously over. The ref's counting, lets him get back up.
Lets him carry on.
Shala's corner throws in the towel. The ref still keeps counting. Yeah. Shala's corner man gets in the ring. Somehow the ref doesn't notice, and he still counts. I mean, they damn near had to tackle the ref to stop the fight.
Stop the fight, yeah. It's kind
and everyone in the arena could see this fight's over.
It's way over. So it was unbelievable. I haven't seen anything that bad, refereeing that bad. Ever. I think that referee takes the cake for being the worst referee I've ever seen. I mean, he should go party with the referee from the Tommy Morrison and Ray Mercer fight.
Exactly. Well, hold that thought, Edge, because they're stopping a fight too late.
Yeah.
And then we have our main event, Ajit Kabial versus Damien Kinba.
Yeah.
And Ajit Kabial, the last time we'd see him was against Zheli Zhang, right?
Yeah.
And he had just a great performance on a Riyadh season card. And this guy, Damien Kinba, it's K-N-Y-B-A, Kinba, was actually bigger, was looking good, was moving around the ring.
Tall, rangy, good boxer, good uppercut.
Actually cut Ajit earlier, but third round, turns on a dime, Ajit Kabial starts lighting him up. Now, the kid was in trouble, but the referee just stopped it. I was like,
I don't think he was that egregious because he was getting pieced up and he'd been wobbled a few times. And then on the break, Kabial caught him with a good punch, and he half turned away, looked like he was turning his back. And I think from the referee's point of view, it looked like he turned his back. Kabial caught him again, and the referee jumped in and stopped the fight. So it was early, definitely early, but it wasn't as egregious because we saw where it was going because Kabial had taken control, and it was going to be a stoppage, but.
Yeah, well, for sure we can't call it egregious given what we just witnessed. So.
Yeah, but I think the referee watching the first fight and the people's reaction to the first fight.
That's a great point.
Overcorrected.
That's a great point. He probably was, okay, you're not going to get me on that one. Fair enough. And, I mean, also it was a very pro-Ajit crowd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not going to get too upset with it. I mean, if he'd done it the other way, it would have been a problem.
The crowd was happy with the stoppage. But I got to say, in Germany as well, the crowd in Germany was great.
Yeah.
After watching some fights in Riyadh recently where the crowd's not so good, this crowd was enthusiastic, great. I mean,
and what did they play before? What did they play before the fight?
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah. So Sweet Caroline are playing that in Germany. I mean, it's going to be a good crowd.
Okay, so we're going to touch on two more boxing fights real quick. One is one I did not watch, so you can cover that one, and the other one is one that neither one of us are watching in time for the podcast. So first one, we got Amanda Serrano versus Reina Tellez. That was last weekend.
Yeah, it was last weekend. Yeah.
And what do you got for me, Edge?
It was a good fight. It's kind of strange because the teller, she was a late replacement. They replaced her 2 weeks before the fight. The original opponent had dropped out, and she weighed in 0.6 pound over, so it was no longer a title fight. So I think because Amanda Serrano wants to do
MMA?
12 3-minute rounds for women's fights instead of the 10 2-minute rounds that have gone. So this one, because it wasn't a title fight, was actually scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. And it was a fairly decent fight, back and forth. This girl was tough, but Serrano was just a better fighter. And Serrano won a lopsided unanimous decision. But it was an entertaining fight.
All right. So tonight at the... it's in
Barclays Center.
Barclays Center. For some reason, inexplicably, this is at the Barclays Center. Yeah. Inexplicably, this is on pay-per-view. We got Sabriel Matias versus Dalton Smith, and Sabriel has had himself a month, has he not?
Yeah, once he got tested positive for Osterine, which was the same supplement that Ryan Garcia got caught with, which is
go ahead and check some of our earlier podcasts. We've covered that before,
and it's actually. Illegal, considered a PED, but the amount he got caught with didn't meet the threshold for him to be banned for it. So the fight got the go ahead, got the green light from the WBC.
So not to be outdone, as of today.
Yeah. As of today, he had some gloves that he put into the New York State Athletic Commission that he wanted to wear, and that was like, no, you're not
they were
wearing
like,
these
no
gloves.
Dice.
No, not these gloves.
Yeah. As I said, this guy's a menace. Yeah. So I'm going to guess Sabriel using illegal gloves and being on drugs is probably going to win this fight. So.
But what's me on a serious note?
Yes.
He actually was in a fight where his opponent died. Mm-hmm. So looking at his behavior, I think people should look back at that fight and see actually what did transpire and what did he get away with for that fight, because it resulted in a death.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, it's not okay if you're cheating and then someone dies or just someone gets seriously hurt.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, that does it for our soft relaunch, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. 2026.
Our 2026 soft relaunch. So we got other stuff coming on. Once again, if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to continue to keep tinkering around the edges, keep tweaking. We got who do we got? Oh, by the way, this will be the rare and elusive cleanup before next week. I was thinking of Kimbo Slice earlier.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Oh, man.
Kimbo. He fought some like pink-haired guy in the first.
Well, you said street fighter. He was a backyard fighter, right?
Yeah, street fighter, backyard. But Kimbo Slice was who I was fighting. Who I was thinking of.
I like Kimbo Slice.
Yeah. And rest in peace to Kimbo Slice, of course. And then I believe we got Moses Satoma.
He's coming up, yeah.
And then
at the end of the month we got Tio versus Shakur.
But that'll be still after our next podcast, right?
Yeah, that's January 31st.
Okay, so we'll have a little preview of that on the next one for sure. And I think that's about it. Like I said, we're about to record our 5-minute fights, which will be Roger Mayweather versus Rocky Lockridge. So look for that, and just make sure you follow us on social media, and we appreciate you so much. And I think it's pretty obvious we have a catchphrase now. Edge, do you have anything else for us?
I just wish everybody a happy new year. Hopefully it's a good year, and we're going to try and bring you as good a content as we can during this year.
All right. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode of Stand Up Guys. We are out of here.